Greetings, fellow YouTubers, and I wanted to tell a little story and then lead you to a book recommendation from that story. And it's not really much of a story, it's just that back in 1999, when I first visited the United States of America, I was living temporarily in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was getting quite lonely and a little bit bored. And I was a part of the Morrissey online community. And I happened to send a message in there and just say, hey, by the way, I'm in Tulsa. If anyone's around who loves Morrissey and wants to talk about music or literature or whatever it may be, reach out. And sure enough, a lady from Missouri reached out to me and said that she loved literature and she loved Morrissey, and we started to chat over the coming days and weeks. And she eventually, I had 2 spells in the US. That time I left and we never actually interacted too much, but we stayed in touch, and I went back about a year later. And she sent me a book as a gift and said, I think you'll really love this book. And I'm really grateful to this day that she did, because I can't believe that I haven't recommended it until now. It was actually kind of a life-changing book at the time, or it was almost just, it was a book that I read and thought, wow, if I wrote a book, this is the book that I would want to write. And it's a book called Steppenwolf by Hermann Hesse, and you can see there the letter that was written on the inside from my friend at the time who sent me the book. And it really is a fascinating book. It's almost cosmic in the way that, if you've ever seen the film The Big Lebowski, I think of this book as almost being like a Big Lebowski, in the sense that in the beginning it's got this very human story, and then it kind of becomes a little bit cosmic towards the end. And I think that Hermann Hesse, it's, you know, he's tried to incorporate Western philosophy with Eastern mysticism, which he was interested in and followed, and in fact years later said that he felt that the book was quite misunderstood, because a lot of readers really saw it as this lonely individual searching for meaning and being lost, and didn't actually see the spiritual side of it. And I must admit, I fall into that category myself, because I don't really care too much for the spiritual side of things. But what Hermann Hesse did describe it as is the description of a sickness that is cured, and meaning this person going on to find hope. And it's really, even in the tools that are used, the style that it's written, it begins as it's being written by the nephew of a niece, or a niece of a lady who was a landlord, and the Steppenwolf rented a room in the house for 10 or 11 months. And this nephew or niece is describing the mysterious comings and goings, and how they see this person occasionally, and how when they moved out they left a manuscript, and it moves on to the manuscript. And ultimately it's something that I think a lot of people who are into literature, who are into reading books and writing books, will relate, because of course it is about writing. It is about loneliness, but loneliness by choice, the introverted loneliness, the person who, or the individual who prefers to be alone. And of course this journey, and I don't, as always, I don't want to say too much about the book, but I just really think that you should go out and get Hermann Hesse's Steppenwolf, read it, and let me know what you think of it. Have a great day.